Thank you. All right. Okay, you guys can hear me now, I think. Yep. You guys should be able to hear me on TikTok. Cool. All right. So, what about you guys? Discord, you guys can hear me all right? Good. All right. Perfect. All right. So, let's do this quick. Spy. First off, I think we're mid punch down, right? There is likely going to be some sort of stalling that happens around the 553.61. But this is where I am looking down and utilizing the 4 hour. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because there's really no need to overcomplicate shit. There's a box down here, and that's what I'm interested in. Now, what most people can't see, what we can see, is that the candle closes here at 538.75. Doesn't provide a support. And because I'm not going to be here very much next week, you guys are going to have to use this, right? Hopefully you're watching this back, future you. And so if that gap gets filled, you have nothing under to stop you till 535. And because of the momentum that we're driving into the close here, yeah, there's a good chance that that may occur. This, and I will warn those of you guys, because what we're dealing with around the 540 area, that still serves as a potential bounce floor, and that is the top of the box over here to your left. Because we are falling so fast, you're going to need to make sure that while you're looking in the rearview mirror, you know exactly where things need to stay. So if we open up at 550, don't be surprised if you pop all the way back up or halfway back up. And for day traders and scalpers, you know, they're going to cause a little bit of manipulation. But for me, with this closed right where we're at and being below 559, I think that at minimum 550, 546.41. So got to keep our foot on the gas pedal, just like when you're in an uptrend and movement is strong. You don't want to really pause, and this is a good way to start a potential continuation to the downside move. So moving forward, we've got IWM on the 24-hour. This thing has pretty much stayed true to the analysis where we bounced today at 195.25, and that is not a surprise. Now, where we go from there is likely going to be yeah, it'll be easier to solve down here on a lower time frame where it is a little bit confusing. It's still here, right? And where you're sitting right now is where price closed and held, and that's $200, right? And above you, and again, you can use this next week because these price points, right? You can make definitive statements. And that's something I'm going to be talking about more when I get back, is drawing lines in the sand and being able to say, and this is going to help you be more confident about what you say and what you do. This is where we go up, and that's 202.50. And this is where we are likely going to bounce. That's 198.25. And if we can get a bounce and retest and rejection and breakdown, of course, we are looking at targets to the downside on IWM, not very far, right? You've got this floor right here. That's that 198. And then here, and that's 190. That is, in my opinion, an extremely accurate target that I feel very confident in price hitting. Last one, my favorite, 24-hour punch down, right? Or rather 4-hour punch down. This thing, actually, I bought some out of the money contracts a little bit earlier at the car shop, and only have 2 left, but I'm glad I just remembered so we don't end up in the money. All right. So this one, from what I can see and understand here, there is likely going to be that downside play that we were anticipating. And this is how you can solve this problem. There's a pretty juicy leg down, right? And this is where you can target this to the downside. Now, I'm going to pay attention to this box, right? And that 460, actually raise that up a little bit further. That's 462.50. Let's go to the 2-hour, actually. Better. Okay. So that top of that box will serve as the 50% mark in the empty space, driving price down to a 554.45 target to the downside. It did. We'll take your guys' request if you guys are on TikTok with me right now. By the way, if you guys can tap your screen, this is likely going to be my last live for about a week. I doubt I'm going to go live at Disney World. Maybe in the Discord, probably in the Discord, but not. I don't know if I'll go live on TikTok. I'm not that kind of influencer. But anyway, that is your first target. That's 463, and that is your second target down at 460, 459. Right. I would expect that as you approach 460 and 459, it's not going to be a straight leg down. You're going to kind of ease into that floor. So make sure you have a good take profits. All right, so that is our ETFs. If you guys have anything pressing, we're going to start with Tesla, and I'm here to help you guys go into this next week with structure. So hopefully you can utilize this analysis with your own, and hopefully you utilize this to make a play next week. So now, before I elaborate, I didn't hear anything about your guys' conversation. Whether this is, but I would assume you guys are looking down. I hope. Okay, good. So as of right now, we can make a couple of definitive statements on one of the most important time frames, right? Here's my first green candle to my left. We're underneath it. Below me, I have an open, and that's it. That's 255.76. And I have a gap down at 249.58, right? And that also represents the top of these candles over here. Beautiful, right? That's 249.50. Move down to this 4 hour, right? Now, I am going to take into consideration that there is trend in place. This doesn't change the opportunity that's presented in front of us. And regardless of what my plans are this week, yeah, I'm swinging it. I'm looking for the open to get pushed. I am looking for the first. So you'll have a series of lower time frame targets. We need Tesla to take what has happened to the overall markets, and a lot of the times it's like Tesla's attached to like a boat with a long rope. You know, the boat's flying. That's the cues or the spy, and then once they slow down, or the rope is still tugging. So then it kind of pulls them forward, and so Tesla is doing that shit again, where it's like, nah, I would rather be the center of attention, par for the course for the guy who owns it. But I'd rather be the center of attention and lag. And I think that's likely what is to come here. I think this is also an opportunity where you could use your ETFs to hedge rather than the actual stock itself. But yes, I do see a move down to 253.23. I see a second target at 250.40, right? Or excuse me, pause. 249.86, and that'll be the 4 hour gap fill. And here's where you're going to find out whether you have brass ovaries or testes, hopefully steel. If that hits, right? I don't know if you guys hedged the cues yesterday. Right, if you watched the video the night before, I said when we hit that gap fill, I'm gonna buy contracts regardless, right? I'm gonna bounce it regardless. I don't know if you saw that fucking bounce on the cues, but it was diabolical, and it was extremely profitable. That is an opportunity, right, to buy the opposite side of that trade. You can keep those runners to the downside, targeting 241.50, maybe a little bit more, right? You can see it down there. It's where empty space underneath, right into that 237.50, and that would be relatively confluential with the channel and structure that we currently have in place. So I think this is a pretty good setup. Empty space is filling right now. I don't see any major floors that are holding us up at the moment. So yeah, I don't see any reason why not. Yeah, for sure. No. Wait, what happened? Oh, what's up? All right. Let me go to the channel here. Damn, who's been playing Call of Duty for 2 hours? Interesting. Dude, that sounded like German. I don't even know what you just said. I don't know what that was either. All right. All right. Visa down. Sure. Yes. Go for it. I know you probably wanted more than that, but yes, I do see that you going down to hit 340, and given the reliability of the channel that you've been trading in, I think that the fact that you popped up, you filled the space, and then you got driven back down. Yeah, I would be looking at 340.75 and around 337 where that open candle ends. If that breaks, then it's now the focus on this box, right? And that's 336.44. So would you check a chart I made last night? Send it to me in the Discord, man. So that's Visa, and I don't disagree with that. I'm not a big fan of Visa's price action or contracts, but that's just a personal taste. Some people like red wine, some people like white. Yeah, don't do that. You almost got caught on camera, Peyton. Damn, she tried to come through the back door. Pause. Wait, hold on. Don't clip that. Clip that. You're banned. I don't even care. Don't worry about it. All right. Yeah, you can PM me in Discord. So all right. I don't like what's happening here. This feels like I'm looking at an alien body. Okay, so let's make some definitive statements here. 146 is being closed underneath. I do not have any reliable structure other than the floor that you used before, and that's where that wick is at. And if that floor is lost, I can agree that this is empty space back down to the box below. So there you go. That's what needs to occur, and you are on your way. So lower time frame analysis, right, is going to be your best friend. There's your wicks. That's 137, 138. 2-hour time frame. You're leaving a lot of that empty space behind, right? So I would say the hourly is going to probably be the most reliable chart to look at. So, okay, TA. Okay, cool. Yeah, shoot me a DM. Yeah, while I'm gone, there's going to be opportunities when I kick it, at night and stuff like that, and the kids are at the pool. So, don't be scared to fucking message me. No guarantees, but All right. What do you want to do with this? Down to 104, then 100. Yes. So good target. I see 104.55 on the 24-hour time frame. I'm sure maybe the 104.25. Yeah, close enough. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. 100. Yeah, I would say 101, given that red candle over here to my left. But ultimately, oh, coffee? Fuck yeah. With whipped cream in it. What the fuck? Make sure you wash and fold.
Worry about those.
That's what she said. But I would say that if sorry, 107 is popped down. What is this wick from? Just random price wick, pre-market price wick. What's the deal here? 4 p.m. That happened in after hours, and there's no earnings. Okay, interesting. So you went. Okay. So here's how I would deal with this, right? Because you have this wick that is, I mean, it's going to be scary or weird to move through. I would still consider it empty space. You're going to have to use the structure that's given to you closest to you, right? So if you decide to get into a short, go with something that if it is reclaimed, or like here, right? That's a great price mark right there. That's 109.69. So if you were already in that, cool. If this thing breaks down underneath 105.50, I cannot. Yeah, you're a pre-market low of 104.50, but I would try to utilize that. And once that close happens, right, be right here, which is what you bounce off in pre-market, you can use that as your stop. And that's going to give you, I think, would give me the confidence to actually take this down through the structure and empty space that's underneath it. So I don't think the red wick raises concern as long as you're utilizing structure. As long as you're doing that, you should be okay. Because then if price moves back up, or test that floor, you can make a decision at that point. So, Oh shit, I almost spilled my coffee. Oh yeah, no problem. Damn, Tesla's falling hard. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, that was actually. It didn't go all the way, and because of the price of the contract, I had bought some a little bit further out. I ended up closing them, but it was still a great trade to the downside. Had a nasty bounce this morning to retest that floor, but I actually opened up an opportunity to take it again. And then now, I mean, I just feel like it's fucking inevitable. Hedge with your ETFs if you feel the need to. Um, there is this weird thing right here that I'll be paying attention to next week, and that plays into the small little box down here. So a minor inconvenience, but something that again I move down to the lower time frame, and I just don't worry, right? Or like fear is again what we don't typically revolves around. We don't know, and if we do know where something goes back up, then if we're short, there's no fear there. It's just you got to do your fucking job. So yeah, I would be paying attention to that level, and hopefully the momentum that you saw a little bit of it today, but I'd like to see Monday waterfall, just flush, just get the fuck down there, and the faster you go, the more likely I will hedge. So, it's hard to see your little screen. Can you zoom in a little? Hey man, Peyton loves my little screen. If you flip your phone sideways, uh, you will receive what you are looking for. All right. What was that? Oh, Lord have mercy. So this is actually kind of a really good indicator because this one's a little different, right? And I say indicator because, one one leads, one lags, but this one shows that the definitive floor is right at that candle open, which is 938. So if you lose that floor, right, it's just a punch down. And so for those of you guys who can't take Tesla, not a bad opportunity, right? And you lose that 692 floor, you're cooking, dude. I'm gonna lose it. You're going to $5 when that occurs. Damn, I had a little screen joke prepared as well. I don't like that you guys think about my little screen so much. All right. Uh, PLTR. You lost money this week? Chalk it up to the game. Keep going. That happens. Now it's to figure out where you went wrong. Oh my God. What did you do? Where was the mistake? Did you hold too long? Did you not hedge when you needed to? Did you take something that didn't have a for sure signal? Do you know what a signal is when it comes from the market? I'm not saying you don't, but anybody who can resonate with that, those are every time something like that happens, it's an opportunity. So, 4 hour. I don't. I shouldn't do that because I know people get testy when I drag my box across. Pause. So here's what I see. Punch down. What the fuck was that? Okay. Sorry about that. 8311. Now, this is where it gets weird. Do you see a box? I don't see a box, right? How do we make, what do we do? See the floor? What happens if buyers don't control the floor? That's their job. So the target through this punchback is very much likely 79.14. If that drops down, we'll probably be a little bit more attentive to the hourly, right? Where at floor lost. Yeah, so it's right there. That floor right there is basically this cost basis 78.44 punch down, and that's where you don't really have anything to go off of other than 73.40, and you would have to go to the 24 hour, and start looking at new targets. So let me emphasize something really quick before I leave this chart. You see this wall? That's everything. And you can see how hard PLTR tries to hang on to it every single time that price gets around it. So that's something to take into consideration, as well as this channel, because that is fully operational as well. I did Rolls Royce. Yes. Bill, make sure that you, before you join my Discord, man, obviously YouTube, but the workshop is a priority. So will I be able to watch this somewhere later? Mazda, yes, sir. You can watch this on YouTube. My YouTube channel, which, by the way, kind of exciting. I kind of perked up. I was like, damn, what the fuck? I'm at 13,923 subscribers. About to hit 14K. I don't ever get banned warnings on there. I don't know. I'm really confused. My Instacart shopper is sending me pictures. And then she just sent me a picture of a man. You can't buy people anymore. Please stop. All right. So we don't use that soundboard. That's crazy. Would I take PLTR to the downside? Nah, not yet. No, I wouldn't. I mean, me personally, no. I think you can make some pretty definitive statements again, right? Like, here you're underneath 90.50. That's pretty important. But that right here, that's my short floor. That's where I would feel a lot better about taking PLTR to the downside. You know what? I think if I just, maybe actually, but it would have to be with expiration. And actually, I will say this, the weekly has a setup for everybody. Look at this. Punch down 72.18, 58.83, 50, 45. Easy money. Set your alerts. I'd probably put a month on it, man. And then, I mean, yeah, 3 weeks. See, I would want it when I'm looking out this far. I need to have outside of the 25-day expiration, right? Because 25 days, once a contract falls within that 25-day radius, it starts to experience the effects of theta, whatever you want to call it, right? But that will eat away at the value of the contract if it's not moving. If it is moving, cool. If you're in the money, cool. But if you're not, then that's where, yeah. And if you're going with a target-based contract, absolutely. So, how do you pick between the box range? Two ranges between boxes. Blue collar boy just blew up my account again today. Do you have a good understanding of a strategy? Do you know when you look at a chart what a great setup looks like? If you or anybody else cannot answer that question, and be honest with yourself, because if you lie to yourself, you just lose money. Damn, Neo, that's fire. If you can't, then that is what you go and do. So many people get this delayed gratification, right? You want it now, but you can't because you don't have the tools to get it. It's that simple. But if you take the time, I just talked about this last night with a buddy, and I explained the same thing. So, do you know what it feels like loving someone? Jose, get the fuck out of here, dude. All right, 351 here. And somebody wants me to look at MU. So wait, 75 is my potential target to the downside. I think long term, part of me wants to believe that this thing would create trend, which is where my mind is at now, right? But I think it did. So, yeah, I think that as you move down into the 24-hour, right? Like here's the 24-hour trigger for the downside to the gap. See that bad boy? Oh my God. Oh my God. There it is. There's the answer in the chart, right? Use this short to cost basis, hedge when it gets there. Cheap, out of the money, target based contracts. Regarding how you got there, did you fall fast? Cool. You're probably going to bounce. So yeah, I mean, there's absolutely opportunity in this chart. The only, again, the worst thing that can happen is chop. And I think that right now, if this momentum continues to the downside and the sentiment stays the way that it is, we're going to be expecting that. Which video has a setup trading view and platform to buy options? Go to my educational channel. It's actually one of my top viewed channels. My daughter yelled at me earlier because she was like, she told me that she subscribed to my YouTube channel. She's like, Dad, look, I subscribed to your YouTube channel. She's like on the TV watching the Crap Brothers. So I was like, okay. Zaboomafoo. Uh, are you talking about PLTR? Yeah. So, time wise, my situation's probably a little different because I'm going to be on inside of Disney. So I might add a little bit of time, or now that I think about it, it might actually be worth me going low risk, shorter expiration, target based contracts. But that's for me, right? Now, I think both of those could end up being successful trades to the downside. Absolutely. But that has to do whether or not um, you can sit and watch this. You know what I mean? But yeah. 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 So look, I mean, look at all this, right? Two big ass, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look, like, right? In what I don't know if you guys remember last year and the beginning of this year and some February, I kept talking about this pocket of empty space. And I remember saying there's going to be some headline, right, that narrates why we dropped that much. And people will say, we dropped that much because of this. And, right, maybe the sentiment fuels that, but the chart says that. So I don't need to, like I can look at the chart and say, okay, if we close underneath this and that empty space is filled, I can already tell you that there's going to be headlines narrating, all sorts of bullshit. So, um, do I think this is the bottom? This is the bottom. Wait, hold on. You made a definitive statement. This is the bottom, and then you say, "Do you think this is the bottom?" Uh, no, I do not. Um, I do not think this is the bottom, and even a healthy pullback, um, I don't see us on a floor. And most of the time, when we hit a reversal, it's off of something, right? For example, this was actually a punchback we played a long time ago. We had a box right there, and we had structure below, right? So you bounce off of something. So when I look at the cues, what the fuck are we bouncing off of? It's got to be this, right? We got to go find where the buyers are, and that's 450. So you bet your ass. Paul Shama, don't find another place to embarrass yourself, dude. Find another place to embarrass yourself. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. I don't give a shit what you think, Paul Shama. I don't really care. Yeah, Paul. Everybody said, yeah, fuck Paul. No, I was kidding. Don't do that. Yeah, Paul. All right, calm down, damn. That's my bad. That's my bad, Paul. That's my bad, dude. That's appreciated. I mean, it's he could just scroll down my profile or go in the Discord and see for himself. Damn, how much I don't know. But all right, Baba, gross, dude. I give up. Um, I believe that if you decide to go short. Damn, I'm tempted. Tempted by the fruit of a China company. Okay, so let me show you three key things. Here, little shit. 1, 2, 3, break candle, pull back, close under 141. Dude. Feel it in my bones. Feel it in my plums. Getting all swollen. Never mind. I'm not gonna go with that joke. But yeah, that feels ingrained in stone. But you're playing inside of a box, which means expiration is added. Do I expect for this to be a red candle by next week? No. Not maybe all the way. Maybe, fuck it. You know, it's Baba. If it gaps down, if you are underneath 127.35, I don't see any reason why not. But it is clearer on the weekly. Fuck me. Am I going to take this? Yeah, I am. All right, hold on. Not again, Baba. Why'd you do this, demon? Ban this guy. It's 2 minutes. Nope, you're right. Damn it. Why are you looking? Fuck, bro. You can hedge yourself, I think, pretty cheaply with this thing. It is in the box, so if you take it, it is speculative, you know. But what does Baba do that makes it so hard to catch? Gaps the fuck down. So it's like it's yeah. Hold on 1 second. 2 weeks out, 120s and 118s, or even 115s kind of look delicious. Here comes. Filming. Ah, filled. Allah Akbar. Oh.
When you're buying like at this time, do you
I hit the market, dude. I'll take it. Sell it to me, daddy. Whatever you want. Type energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, you guys can't hear the other people? You used the plum joke when you charted this weeks ago. Did I really? Damn. The plums have gotten even more swollen. That sounds out of context. Go watch Eastbound and Down. You'll get it. All right. Okay. So that's fuck it, you know. Fuck it. Now I'm playing with that woo. We just chopped the head off a goose. All right. It's just a living proof. Getting all swollen, juicy, ready for the market. Okay, so this looks like it could turn into a weekly, right, floor. You got a gap on the weekly to the downside. And here's again, definitive statements that we can make. 9:37 is the candle close on the 24-hour. Now you'll probably have to use lower time frame wicks, and those wicks bounce off of this one. So these are two relevant walls. Above that, you have a gap to fill at 962.88. I like it, right? But you're experiencing shitty price action and buyers are not stepping up. So this is coming down. Costco will fall. Sound a little dramatic, but it's not like that. Costco will fall. 923.65 breakdown target. Now this is going to be a bitch. 918, and if you can break 918, honestly, I kind of want to expand that a little bit, but you know, fuck the channel, play the box, because the channel is always comes second. It's used as a tool, like a finishing gardening tool. You know, it's not the main cake. I see a box area of consolidation. I see cost bases here. So breakdown, gap fill. Obviously, we know what the potential is to the upside, so you can utilize that going into next week. So yes, this will be recorded. You can watch it later. Kenny Powers would be so proud. Hell yeah. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. Appreciate you. What else are we looking at? Put Brothers makes it so much more simple. Good. Glad he helps you, man. You trying to start beef, dude? I um I bought my first order at 158 Google for long-term. Thoughts on it, please. Do I think there's more downside? Um uh on Google, do I think there's more downside? Uh-huh. Yeah. So again, I like being able to look at the market and make definitive statements. I have a couple of definitive statements I can make about Google. 152.41 and 150, right? Those two marks, and we're heading towards them very quickly. Those two marks, in my opinion, um, you will move down. Like there's no doubt in my mind, right? And then there's a gap fill that you can take advantage of when that breaks, and that should give you a 141.76 move. Now, there's also this, and I'm not usually one to do something so big, or hold on, I'm not one to always look at these channels, right? Because you're trading inside of a smaller one. But when I look at this at the weekly, it does spell some potential continuation at the downside. But we are bearish underneath 150, breaking down through that gap. And then what will likely lock us in is this bad boy. See that? Right here. That's 130, basically a loss of 140 and a breakdown under 130. And I think you start making larger moves down to like 107.55. So no, I don't think that this is the bottom. Right now you are and with equity, right? We can make, again, it's easier when you have equity. It is always easier. I mean, buying equity on certain things has been extremely easy, and holding it, there's no contracts, so it's a stop loss and you get out, right? There. That's where Google goes up on a candle open or close green, right? You've got a gap to fill, which you kind of shittily filled, and then you're leaving empty space behind. But as of right now, I do not. I see 150 getting hit, likely very soon. I think the number isn't bouncing. Do you check order flow at all? I do not. I haven't. I think I'm in that space where if it ain't broke, we're not fixing it. It doesn't. It works just fine. So hold on one second. I gotta look up this. How long are they open for? Shit. Um. Yeah, I call them. God damn, dude. Trying to get one of the cars lifted and big chunky tires on it. Fucking taking forever. All right. Let's see here. Nvidia. Oh, I hate that, but yeah, it looks like it's coming down. So you have a first target and line in the sand for where we continue seeing downside, and that's 104.61. I think from there you utilize this structure again, and that would be 94.86. Obviously, we'll mind the green candle bottom at 92.30, but I think inevitably, this floor lost means that I don't know, yeah. So this is something that I could even go down to the 24-hour. Man, I tell you what, if next week while I'm at Disney we have a bloodbath, that's gonna be fucking wild. They're gonna raise the prices at Disney while I'm there. Yeah, and you just have a floor underneath you. So your main concern on Nvidia right now is the floor at 104.71, and I would be looking for that trip down into the 98.50s, which again lines up with the floor and adds a confluential target. Is it possible to make seven figures doing this? Yeah, of course it's possible, but where you start and how you start and your saving habits and all that good shit have a lot to do with it. Oh, I think I got my first hate comment on YouTube. That's cool. Fuck yeah. All right. So you swing trade, you hold longer? Nah. I not necessarily, no. Um, so for me, I a swing trade can be me buying at the end of the night and then waking up and at 10:30 I'm selling my contracts, which is I would say about 60 to 70% of what I do. Sometimes I hold for 3 or 4 days. I think one of my favorite trades are when you have a choppy week and on Friday it closes choppy and then you're able to kind of swing into that chop and uh, when that tension breaks going into that next week, which usually it does, those contracts are really cheap on Monday. So excuse me, Friday. So like Monday, if you open up and you start moving, those contracts are coming out of a rip zone, or excuse me, not a rip zone, but a fucking chop zone. So they've lost value, and then holding those what were once was cheap contracts going into like Wednesday, I love it. It's like my favorite. Um, he just swings just in case the trade goes against him. I think no, I swing on a regular basis. I don't day trade much I mean I'd say this year, I've picked it up a little bit more, but yeah. All right. Dollar General. This thing's going to be a bastard, and I think anybody and everybody who's trying to take this thing, you need to let an $88 break. That has to happen. Um, Hold on one second. That's it, man. The answer is right there, right? Is like if you're taking it here and considering I would do this, right? I would take Dollar General and split that empty space to this floor in half. It's a lot of empty space. So yes, you're experiencing a rejection. No, you didn't lose anything. So Dollar General under 84.62, not as much of an opportunity. But above 88, yeah, I would be targeting 95. Yeah, you're still trading it inside of a box, so you got to give it. It's Dollar General. It's not Tesla or Nvidia or MU. It's not. It's Dollar General. Doesn't have the juice all the time. Oh shit, Zyro, dude, thanks for the gift, man. What's up? I just saw those. Oh, down. Oh. Flower for the wife. You talking about? Oh, man, don't be giving flowers to my wife. Please don't scam me after I buy the mentorship. Damn, dude. That was exactly what I was. Nah, I'm just kidding. Uh, have you watched my YouTube channel, man? If you feel uncomfortable doing something, don't do it. Right? Don't get when we allow ourselves to do that, it becomes a habit, and then you end up in situations. So go watch my YouTube channels if you haven't, and make a good decision. Look at what I say, watch what I do, look for the proof. Does it work? Is this system prove itself? That'll make you feel better about making a decision, but also might put you in a position to do it on your own. Maybe not have to buy anything at all. Everybody's different. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're already in, good looks. I think if you're looking to get in, you need 145.25, and then losing. I'm gonna go ahead and say 144.05 because that's where the candle closes and the floor bounces. If you lose that, like that's where I can say again, definitive statement. you will go to 136.89 and likely back down to 132. So is there a channel on here? Okay, so keep that in mind, right? There is a small channel and it does say around 142. So do keep that in mind. If you do intraday, do you still go for out of the money contracts? Of course. Out of the money target based contracts is always. If I can do it, I will. So as much as necessary, that Sky Guy. As much as necessary. Yeah, make sure you guys read Ivy's message. She's typing in the chat. We do not. There's. Yeah, I don't offer any trading services like crypto or crypto or copy trading or anything of that nature. What do you want to do with this? It's already over. I would say, yeah, maybe not totally over, but I can make another definitive statement. And the reason that you've stopped here is because this fucking floor is basically where we can call it to the downside. This thing is going to speed up the trajectory in which you fall and will. I mean, this actually could be a pretty nice move to the downside, but you've responded to the top of that box and floor by bouncing, so you're going to have to utilize a lower time frame setup, right? It looks like it's going to try and might build a box around 168, but it would be here, right? And that's where you would basically, if it's retested and then you break back down, that's an opportunity, but I wouldn't just take it here until I had something retest wise. Also, love the technical analysis. It gets me hard. Okay, all right. Been using the Potter box and been a member for a little now. Good fun crew. I've learned tons. Hell yeah. Can you explain what you mean by it's in a channel? Is that the same as consolidating? No, a channel is just another word for trend, but we don't use trend lines. We don't draw them ourselves. The channel makes it so that it either lines up or it doesn't. And if I can't see that, then it doesn't apply. So, Sergio Sepulveda. One of my friends was named Adrian Sepulveda. First guy I ever saw smoke green stuff. Andrew Ziegler. Somebody caught that. Yeah, I did see that. That was pretty diabolical. All right, we're gonna do just a couple more. I can feel Peyton bubbling. I'm gonna have to. I gotta probably go pick up the whippy. And then I gotta start packing. Ellie has a birthday party tomorrow, so we just, I like to do things split decision, and then I'm like, damn, this is stressful. So I mean, you're banking on whether like this cost basis rejection being that thing that drives you down. And unfortunately, that doesn't. Oh shit, fuck, forgot to finish ordering dinner. Um, that doesn't provide the best setup. So right now, I mean, you are sitting on cost basis. You've hit it a lot, but you haven't broken it. So when that breaks, yeah, you can look for 84 to break and start taking it lower. I will say, it's interesting that Walmart is holding and adamant about holding that uptrend, right? So, hopefully that's this breaking drives it down. Hold on one second. Hello? Yes, sir. The key to the wheel lock. Wheel key. Roger. I will look and I'll call you back as soon as I can, okay? All right. Thank you so much. All right. God damn, dude. One thing after a fucking another. All right. Yeah. I don't know if I want him going through that. Um, yeah, I'll talk to Peyton about it. Motherfucker. I could probably could I get something like that at AutoZone or some shit like that? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Um, Do you pick the nearest out of the money contracts for intraday or swing? No, target based. So, all right. Garrett, guys, if Garrett gets any QPs, will apply to the special studies. Oh, gotcha. So for the Qs, I'm sorry, it's probably, well, yeah, it's too late. But for the Qs, again, target-based contracts could allow for 460s to be taken advantage of. Um, and again, you know, you might be able to take this. Damn, this shit's still fucking falling, dude. Holy shit. I haven't seen that since the fucking COVID shit. Sounds like they're finding reasons to not work on your vehicle on a Friday afternoon. Hey bro, how you going live? I don't know, dude. I just bought 4 new tires, nice chunky tires, and I've had them do a lot of work on it. So I think they're probably tired of my ass. I hope so. I hope so. All right. Yeah, I need to call him back ASAP. So, all right. Hey bro, how are you going live and not showing the market and not being banned? Or how am I going live and showing the market not being banned? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I see everybody else complaining about it, and I don't know. Don't know. Just get away with it, I guess, until I can't. I'm not a good boy. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, guys. I will be gone. Those of you guys on TikTok, I'll see you guys in a week. So basically, mid second week of April, I'll see you guys then. Discord, I will do my best to be present when the opportunity provides itself. I'll be watching the market because if we do continue moving downside, Disney or not, I'm not missing it. You know, if I could fucking pay for the, you know, all the shit I'm going to be spending down there, or make that back while I'm spending it, that would be delicious. So,
Wait.
the Safari, not Safari. What is it called? Animal Kingdom, Savannah, Arusha Villa, or something like that. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. 5 day pass, all that other good shit. I'm going to, man. I actually, yeah, I haven't left anywhere like this since Universal, which was a while ago. So, but anyway, uh, yeah, I appreciate it. But anyway, I will see you guys next week in the Discord and in April. So you guys have a great weekend, or yeah, great weekend, and enjoy yourselves. I know some of you guys kids are in spring break, so enjoy that. All right, peace out. This will be on YouTube.